Is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Ducks on the mill pond, geese in the clover, tell them pretty gals I'm a-comin' over. Ducks in the mill pond, geese in the ocean, all them pretty gals all in an ocean.
All right. The show is Horse to Sing None of It, and my name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today is Alan Friend. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Thank you, Ralph.
So tell us about that song.
Well, that's a song from the South. The version that I got was done by many of the people in the southern states, North Carolina, Virginia, and so forth. And this version was pretty much the way a modern person, Bob Carlin, tends to play it. And I tend to do a lot of these old-time tunes and songs.
What's the name of that song?
It's called Ducks in the Mill Pond.
Very good.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's fun to play the banjo.
It's fun to listen.
Thank you.
What else you got for us?
Well, how about a song? This is a ballad, actually, which came from England, as you'll be able to tell from the verses. There's a line there about London. And this was also a version that has been done by old-time people in the southern mountains. This particular version came pretty much from Charlie Poole of North Carolina, although I don't play it quite the way he did. He was a three-finger picker, and I like to do it with two fingers. It's called Gypsy Girl, and it is a happy song. I used to be a gypsy girl, now I'm a rich man's bride, with servants to wait on me while in my carriage rides. while in my carriage rides, while in my carriage rides, with servants to wait on me, while in my carriage rides. As I was a-walking one day down London Street, a handsome young squire was the first I chanced to meet. He viewed my pretty brown cheeks that now he loved so well, and said, "My little gypsy girl, will you my fortune tell? Will you my fortune tell? Will you my fortune tell?" And said, "My little gypsy girl, will you my fortune tell?" "Oh yes, sir, kind sir, please hold to me your hands. You have many fine mansions in many a foreign lands, and all those young ladies, you'll cast them all aside. I am the gypsy girl who is to be your bride, who is to be your bride, who is to be your bride. I am the gypsy girl who is to be your bride." He took me, he led me to a wide and pleasant shore, with servants to wait on me and open my own door, to open my own door, to open my own door, with servants to wait on me and open my own door. A
Very
happy
good.
song.
Those are rare in old-time music.
It's rare in traditional music at all. I sometimes do traditional ballads from England as well as from America, and some of them are pretty tragic.
You mentioned Bob Carlin in connection with that first song.
Yes.
He was my roommate years ago at the Tennessee Banjo Institute.
Oh, wow. Good player.
Yes, he is.
Well, that song also is one that I recorded on my CD, which is called Had a Dog. And sometimes I like to play with other instrumentalists joining me, but that particular one I just like to sing and just play solo. Shall I switch to another instrument?
Sure. You've got your concertina here.
Yes, I do. And this song is also an old ballad from England. This is a tragic one. It's not gruesome the way some of the old ballads are, but it is very, very sad. And this is the one that prompted me to buy my first concertina and learn to play the thing. The week before Easter, the morn bright and clear, the sun it shone brightly and keen blowed the air. I went up in the forest for to gather fine flowers, but the forest won't yield me no roses. Oh, I loved a lass and I loved her so well. I hated all others who spoke of her ill. But now she's rewarded me well for my love, for she's gone and she's married another. The parson who married them, aloud he did cry, "Oh, you that forbid it, I'd have a long cry." Then I followed up and I said to her, "How many ships sail in the forest?" The parson who married them, aloud he did cry, "Oh, you that forbid it, I'd have a short cry." Then I thought to myself, I'd a good reason why, though I had not the heart to forbid it. And when that I saw my love in the church stand, with the ring on her finger and the glove in her hand, I jumped in betwixt them and kissed the false bride, saying adieu to false loves forever. And when that I saw my love out the church go, then I followed after, my heart full of woe. I sat down beside her when she sat down to meet, for I was the man that ought to had her. The men in yon forest, they are asking me how many wild strawberries grow in the salt sea. And I answer them back with a tear in my eye, how many ships sail in the forest? Go dig me a grave that is long, wide, and deep, and strew it all over with flowers so sweet, that I may lie down there and take my long sleep. And that's the best way to forget her. So they've dug him a grave, and they've dug it so deep, and they've strewn it all over with flowers so sweet. And he has lain down there to take his long sleep, and maybe by now he's forgotten.
All right.
So sad, don't you think?
Yeah, that guy's carrying a torch major.
Yeah.
So we should let folks know how they can find more information about your recording and your teaching and your workshops and your performances.
Okay, shall I give them a website or an email address?
You can give a website.
Okay, it is www.alanfriendmusic.com. And people can contact me through the website and find out all about me and my recording and anything else you want to know, more than what you may have wanted to know.
You do workshops in banjo and singing?
Yes, I do, and I've also been doing a bunch of old-time jamming workshops. I will typically handle the banjo portion, and I have a fiddler friend who will handle the fiddling. And we basically show people and do hands-on stuff about how to participate in an old-time jam.
Cool.
I'm doing some fiddling myself now, but this guy is very good, so I let him do that, and I do the banjo.
And you're also involved with the New York Folk Music Society.
Yes, the Folk Music Society of New York Incorporated. Used to be called the Pinewoods Folk Music Club.
Do they have a website we can plug?
Yes, they do. However, I don't quite remember it offhand. But if you go to my website, there's a link from mine to that website.
That's good. You going to give us something on the banjo now?
Yes.
How did you come to be interested in the banjo?
I started with guitar when I was a teenager, and some years later, I somehow heard a banjo player, and I said, "Oh, what a neat instrument! I should pick that up and try it out." So that's what I did, and I guess banjo is my primary instrument these days. I dabble, as I say, in other instruments, guitar and concertina, and some fiddling, and I've picked up other instruments here and there, but I think the banjo is my main one. I like the sound of it.
It's a good sounding banjo.
This was one that I made at a banjo building workshop, and
Cool.
you'll see my little logo on here, the dog howling at the moon right here in the scoop, right over here. And I chose to do that because my CD is on a label called Bay at the Moon Productions. So there's the dog baying at the moon.
Nice.
So here's a tune called John Lover's Gone. Thank you.
So how did you get interested first in the old music and songs that you like?
My father was a singer in a chorus way, way, way back before I was born. And when I was 4 or 5 or 6 years old, I remember him bringing home records of some of the songs that they did that the chorus learned from, and many of them were folk songs. and I just loved the sound. I loved the sound. The melodies, I didn't pay much attention to the words, but the melodies really, really stuck. And then at about that time, 5, 6, 7, he started teaching me to sing harmony with him. So I basically started out singing, and I picked up instruments later. But I really enjoy the sounds of the old music. I started mostly with traditional English ballads and American ballads, and then I started drifting over into old-time music from the southern mountains here. So now I do both.
Why don't you give us another one?
Okay. Well, why don't I? Okay, here's a tune. I'll do another tune here. This is a tune was actually was written by Stephen Foster, and many people nowadays play it. They varied the melody somewhat from what he originally wrote, and most people who play the tune don't really sing the words anymore. But it's a nice, catchy tune.
Angelina Baker, her age was 42. She still won't marry you.
Yep, that's it, Angeline the Baker. Some people call it Angeline the Baker, and sometimes Angelina Baker. So, how are we doing in terms of time?
We've got about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, shall I finish up with a another banjo thing here?
Sure.
This is one that should I risk changing the tuning just slightly?
It's okay with me.
Okay. As a banjo player yourself, you know that banjo players like different tunings. And that sometimes it's very hard to keep these things in tune. Okay, so here's a tune called Mississippi Sawyer.